Are y'all for real? Like y'all are really for real. Hi Faith. Hi Measy. Hi Rabs. I think that's Zoe. Hi Ollie. Hi So Spirit. What does the collective is now? Higher Soul Spirit. What does the collective need to know? Excuse me. Stop. Stop. So you mad? Hmm? Oh my gosh. Alright, so what does the collective need to know? Thank you for the heart me. Hey, Amanda. No. I'm shaking my head at these dogs. They back here playing tug of war. Oh my God. How are you doing today? Oops. You said, oh, me, I'm okay. I'm doing well. That's funny. I didn't really feel like getting on today, but I was like, the days that I don't feel like getting on, I feel like Spirit has a message. But, I just feel like Spirit wants to, thank you for the hand hearts. Thank you. Thank you for the rose. I feel like Spirit wants to talk about people who like want to take what you have built without doing the work. And so like the other people who are doing the work, they don't have time to be jealous or competitive or anything like that, because they're focusing on themselves. They're focusing on whatever their gifts and talents are. They're awakening to their purpose. They're awakening to their gifts. And then there's other people. All right now. Hey, stop. I feel like a damn referee. But these people just really want to come in and take people, like take people's accomplishments and the thing that they built. And I mean, of course, there's attempted spell work, because I don't feel like spell work is actually effective. But there's some other people that like I was thinking about someone today who I know who married someone because she just said, I want to marry somebody with money from college. And she did that. And she lives a comfortable life. But it's like the relationship is non-existent. And so it's like you have to be careful what you ask for, because like in addition to everything else, you should be asking for a partner who is going to actually love you and honor you and show you off and not cheat on you and stuff like that. And that's the problem with people just really wanting money out of a situation. You said, dang, well, I'm glad we both broke. That's funny. Don't say you broke. Don't claim that. But so there's some people who just look at potential as well. So it's like they'll do things with a hidden agenda. And the agenda is to like be a part of this person's team when they blow up. Because people can tell energetically that someone, I mean, you can see by their talent that the person has the potential to be extremely successful. But what have we seen with a lot of celebrities in the past? A lot of extremely talented, well-paid, iconic. One of the most iconic singers was Whitney Houston. And that shit went all the way downhill. Yes, money does not buy happiness at all. And, people think that, so very gifted people have a very powerful connection to the divine. Not saying that everybody doesn't have a connection to the divine, but like very powerful, like self-made talent where you can't teach the talent, that type of thing. Like they just woke up one day and was like, I'm gonna start writing music, and then just wrote like amazing music. Those people, like, we all get downloads, but those people are highly sensitive to the information that they're getting from the divine. And it's partially because, well, part of the reason is that they're star beings, but the other reason is that they are many times here for a specific purpose. And when you're here for a specific purpose, it is not smart, nor is it ordained by the divine to be with someone who is not willing to do the work on themselves, is not willing to fully operate in their gifts that has been bestowed upon them by the divine. And I'm going to speak on it from a woman's perspective with a wealthy masculine. I mean, it could be same-sex relationships, but because I'm a heterosexual female, I'm going to speak on it from my perspective, from a woman's perspective. a very highly gifted, highly intuitive, highly intelligent, royal ancient being from other star systems is interested in someone who can actually, who has depth of character, who has a pure heart. Hi, Angie. Because when you have a specific mission and purpose and you know what that is, it's very important that you're careful about who you're dealing with, who you're spending your time with, who you're around, who you're talking to. And the person that these people need to be with is someone who can actually like spark their I want to say spark their intellect. Someone that can actually speak to their soul. And someone who is very transactional and very shallow and very materialistic and not tapping into their creative side. Someone who's not healing wounds. Like that's someone who, I hate to classify people, but it's giving the energy of someone who just wants to sit around, watch reality TV, and talk about the newest bag. And first of all, humanity is suffering. There are people out here who are homeless with their families. Like, if you're with someone who has the ability to impact humanity financially and help to bring equity to the world and help to balance the scales of justice for people from an economic and energetic standpoint, it would be crazy as hell for someone who's in that position to get with a female who, or a feminine who is just going to damn suck them dry, literally. Although all of that is great, and it is important to every relationship, you can't just be bringing that. And like, why would this person buy you a $50,000 bag when there's homeless people down the street? $50,000 could probably like house 10 people at least. Like, are you fucking serious? But there's really people out here who think that, if they're, just arm candy and great in the bedroom. And I'm not saying that men haven't created an environment where these women think that they can get away with it. Because I mean, life has become very transactional. So women think they can do it all the time because men have allowed it, and vice versa. You said 50 grand, I'll build exactly. That's what I'm saying. Like, you could have like a tiny home village built. I'm not gonna go that far, cause like tiny homes are getting more and more expensive. But I'll say that, like, say you buy a house and you fix it up, and then you are able to house 10 different people. You know, you can make the money back from the back end, but you still, like, that $50,000 that you have, that you want to spend on a bag that's gonna sit in the closet in a dust bag after being worn one time. And what people don't really think about is that the road to being successful is very lonely, is very, like, is a long, daunting road at times, is very painful. And for someone to think that they just gonna come in and take everything that you've built by just being like a leech, that's super disrespectful. And Spirit saying everybody can't go. That's why you have to go through the relationships and eliminate people before your abundance comes in. Spirit said it's like being pregnant for 9 months and having someone come into your hospital room after delivery and take your baby. Confirmation. You said too late. My ex already took everything from me. Hence why I ain't got. Oh no. That's terrible. Well, I know that you'll end up getting it back. I'm assuming y'all are playing. She over there in her little play stance. Oh, hey, you don't have to bite. Oh my God. And just let me just say this. For anybody who is coming against these divine beings, when I tell you how they're showing me how they wrecking shop on people. Hey, cut it out. Cut it out. Because the divine, so what people don't understand is that people have prophecies to fulfill. There is validity to the Bible in certain aspects, and there are prophecies that still need to be fulfilled. And so when you talk about the divine is not going to let anything happen to these people. Okay, thank you. Hey, beautiful. The divine is not about to let anything happen to these people. And so it's an extreme level of arrogance to think that I'm trying to get this light together because it's like now it's giving me a glare. I guess I need to turn it off. Oh, but that's from the other light. So it's extremely disrespectful to the divine. And they don't play that. Because they're like, these people came here and like volunteered to incarnate on level 100 million. Thank you for the finger hearts. So these people incarnated just to get dragged, basically. And you got the audacity to try to come in and like infiltrate what this person has built. That's crazy. And so I would just encourage everyone to just remember that what's for you is for you. You don't have to fight. You don't have to chase. You don't have to compete. You don't have to do any kind of spell work. Like, there's nothing that you have to do when something is for you. Like, you can just sit back and laugh at shit. Because you like, I know we already locked in. So everybody else is a fucking joke. Yeah, well, that's how the cookie crumbles. You know? You said love is peaceful, love isn't forced. Absolutely. And like I said, there's specific divine unions. I keep talking about this. I feel like a broken record. But there's specific divine unions that are here to they have a joint mission. And they're also repairing shit that happened in past lives. So not only are they like repairing what's happening right now, but they're also going backward in time and space to like reverse what previously happened. Because, you know, there's been biblical figures who came here and really fucked up. And a lot of it had to do with lack of faith. And so I know that's why I've been talking about faith quite a bit lately, because you can't be like competitive and backbiting and you know, chasing what you want, chasing after money. You know, that energy cannot exist in the energy of someone who is healed, confident, peaceful, knows who they are, knows where they're going, knows exactly, like, you know, like I said, when you know whatever is for you and no one can come in between that. And when you know that the divine is protecting you, you know that your finances are secure, your happiness is secure, all abundance in every area of your life is secure. That's why I said when you locked in, with the divine and you know what's coming to you and you know what's your birthright or what your birthright is, there is nothing that can bother you anymore at that point. You laugh at people and how they act. You said, I just said earlier, you have to have faith to have patience. Exactly. And like, what happens is somebody will like proclaim to have faith, but then their actions totally contradict it. So like you have like people will say, I have faith that such and such is gonna happen. I have faith that God's gonna do this, God's gonna do that. And then as soon as you finish saying that, you instantly go into, oh, I gotta get my numbers up, and they not gonna take my clients, they not finna take my money. I got to go get it. I got to do this. I got to do that. And then, oh shoot, she ain't about to take my man. That's my man. I said I was gonna have him. All that crazy shit. You said it's not easy though. Exactly. And that's enough. That's the main reason why Spirit is like, we not finna let nobody, not one person, come in between this person and what they have built. Because that would be crazy. You said I've been working on my patience for a long time now. Yeah, it's essential. Because if I told you, I have had to be patient for decades. Most recently, like since I've known who I am and what, basically what's going on, I've had to be patient for years. Like years, literally. You said I'm patient with certain things and certain things I'm not. I'm a work in progress. Yeah. And I mean, that's all we can do. I mean, hell, I'm not like the most patient when it comes to money. Like right now, I'm like, where is my money? Like when I'm hungry, I ain't want to wait. Okay. Yeah. That hangry. Yeah. Don't be hangry now. But yeah, I have been getting readings for years telling me, oh, your person is coming in and your money is secured and your family is secured and you're not gonna have to worry about anything. And I'm like, where is the fucking money? So, but I had to do certain things to get to this point. I had to step into my power. I had to do the work. I had to do things afraid. I had to get on live, even though I don't like being in front of people and the focus of attention. So that's what people, I think that's where society has gotten it fucked up, that they have convinced men and women that if a woman can cook, has good smecks, and cleans and stuff like that, that is a good partnership. Like that's really all the woman needs to bring to the relationship. And that couldn't be the farthest thing from the truth. because of how powerful a feminine is, because of how tapped in women are. And you know, if a man is not getting the guidance, the intuitive and spiritual guidance or confirmation, because the people I'm talking about, they're both equally tapped in, very equally intuitive, but it's like he'll confirm her, she'll confirm him, because sometimes you just need somebody to be like not just supportive, but affirming and confirm like what you were already thinking and stuff like that. Because not only like are you individually very powerfully guided and protected by the divine, but then when you come together and you mix that power together, if either one of those people were to get with someone who is not as like disciplined, tapped in, willing to do the work, that's where like the imbalance comes, because people are trying to partner up with somebody. So it's almost like, so the image that they're showing me is like people playing tug of war, but you have like a really big person on one side, and or like two really big people on one side, and then you got one big person and a little person on the other side. So like this other big person tried to join forces with a little person, and they gonna lose the tug of war every time. And Spirit has been saying like kings belong with kings. And I know that kings have a masculine connotation, but it's possible for like, if you're looking at it from like a tarot perspective, it's gender neutral. So I mean, whether you call it a king or a queen, is still that same energy, because it's all energy outside of a meat suit. And that's pretty much what soulmates. I think I'm gonna post a video about when I went skydiving, but I just found out recently, and then it was confirmed by the video where the airplane hit someone on the runway, that like, so I saw in one video that people are called souls when they're on a plane. And I was like, they're called souls. So then I was like, okay, well, that makes sense with Soul Plane, because like Soul Plane was a play on like soul and like, black soul, and then souls on a plane. And because the pilot was talking to air traffic control and was like, we have 231 souls on board. And I was like, that's wild. And so somebody had posted a video, I think I reposted it, where this woman was talking about how the spiritual significance of Spirit Airlines shutting down. And basically, she was talking about a plane ascending with your soul. And Um, sorry, I got distracted. My sister texted me. But yeah, like it's just amazing to me because that's really what soulmates, what, you know, like, so I have been talking about how twin flames turn into soulmates. Like after they've been through the twin flame journey, they basically come together as soulmates. And it's partially like because like when they're, so being a twin is like you're mirroring each other, so you can look at face each other and you're seeing the same person. And so when those energies merge together, because one is primarily housing the masculine because of the meat suit, the other is primarily housing the feminine because of the meat suit. But when you merge together, like when you've done, each individual has done the work and then you merge together, you merge souls, that becomes a whole person. So the point of me talking about this is that when you get with someone, you have to think to yourself, is this person going to help to make me a whole person? Or is this person so broken that they're going to be like pulling and tugging on the parts of me that I've already healed and triggering the parts of me that are unhealed? You said, is it possible for a twin flame to be a family member? No, not to my knowledge, from the information that I've had, from the information that I've gotten thus far. I'm laughing because I said I ain't have a speech impediment the other day and I've been stuttering. But the understanding that I have about twin flames is that these are very high-ranking spiritual beings who are a divine union, and they're representative of the masculine and feminine of source. So it's just romantic relationships based on my understanding. You said, I've heard the twin flame was like yin and yang. I guess so, yeah, because like yin and yang fit together in a circle. So that would be like completion. So spare. What else is a collective needs? So I would say, you said, are two twin souls fighting for one spot? Let me see. You said, I've heard the twin flame. Okay. And then you said, or two twin souls fighting for one spot. No, it's not fighting for one spot. They actually come together for a joint mission. So it's definitely not one spot, because each of them go on their own journey to self-discovery, to like finding their purpose, finding their gifts, figuring out who they are, um, integrating with their higher self. And so each individual person has their individual gifts, and they may not be directly related. You know, any creativity, hey, Miss Wallace, excuse me, any creativity comes from the divine. Like any and all creativity comes from the divine, basically. But someone who's got like a creative talent doesn't necessarily have like, are aware of their spiritual gifts. So a lot of people that are tapped in, like let's take Erykah Badu for instance. Like she's a spiritualist, but she also writes and sings and all of that. So so that would be somebody who is tapped in, but also just a creative from a human standpoint. And then you have people who have not done the work to uncover exactly who they are. And so they may be successful like at a gift, but if they're not really aware of how to be tapped into the universe and the divine and all that, then there's always going to be a little bit of a disconnect, if that makes sense. Because anything creative, I mean, we're downloading source on a 24/7 basis. And so, you know, you can either like live life from a superhuman standpoint, or you can live life from a supernatural standpoint. And if you can blend the two, you know, like that's great too. But like just living from this humanistic standpoint, that's what causes very talented and gifted people to go off the rails and do some whack shit, like try to compete or try to do a destiny swap, or you know, trying to undercut someone else in order to like secure their spot. And so like that's really what happened to turn things around, is that people knew that they were powerful and they knew that they had the power, but they still like went against God's plan. You know, and like going along with God's plan doesn't mean necessarily that it doesn't mean that you're holier than thou at all. It's just like God's plan for your life is for you to remember who you are. I mean, that's like the ultimate goal in anyone's lifetime, is to remember who you are and start to move and operate in those gifts. And so when people choose to live a very humanistic life without tapping into their purpose, it creates an environment where, you know, some people are not thriving. So when you are able to fully tap into who you are and your gifts and all of that, then you're able to be like in a position where your abundance is guaranteed. But at the same time, you have to hold fast to that. So like I said, there have been plenty of people who have all the evidence that the divine is real. They're operating powerfully in their spiritual gifts, but there's just something within them that is telling them that they need to compete, that their faith in God or the divine only extends but so far, and then they have to start taking things into their own hands. And that ain't it. That is not it. And I feel like Spirit is saying that, maybe someone listening to me is embarking on like a new relationship in love, but is still kind of letting the past cause them to be a little paranoid. And I feel like Spirit is saying, like, you don't have to be paranoid or concerned anymore. Just remember, you can't say the wrong thing to the right person, and you can't do the wrong thing to the right person. So basically meaning, as long as you keeping it, in high integrity and respectful and all of that, and your intentions are pure for this person, like, it's not like how you are is not going to be misinterpreted. And a lot of times we don't realize it, but we're operating on autopilot. So, like, all the thoughts that we have, every decision we make, is because we're being divinely guided by the divine. So that's why it's so important not to like blame the divine for any like thing that happened to you that you feel like was negative. It's important just not to beat yourself up for past decisions, not to oh, I thought I had a pocket. Not to have a lot of grief about past decisions and what happened in your past, the people you chose to be with, whether you chose to have children with these people or not, whether you like gave them 20 years of your life, all of those things. I know that it's easier said than done, but all of those things happens in divine timing and divine order, and you were guided and directed through all of that. Because I know that certain people have to have certain experiences in order for you to be able to be a healer. When you are a healer, you need to be able to energetically meet people where they are without judgment. Because even though like cognizantly you might be like, oh, I'm not judging that person, energetically you might be judging the hell out of that person just because you didn't have to go through what they went through. But as a healer, you have to be a neutral party. And so being a neutral party what comes with that is being non-judgmental. And being non-judgmental in a way that people feel your love and acceptance way more than they hear it. Because sometimes we don't know what to say. Like, I may not have the words. When I first got on here, I was like not struggling, but I was just sitting here just waiting for the inspiration to come to me, because I'm like, I'm not about to sit up here and damn bullshit people. I want to have something significant to say. And I want to have something to say that's going to positively impact people and help them get through a tough situation. Because you have to, like, it's important to have people that support you through tough situations, because that helps you to be resilient. It helps you to learn from your mistakes. It helps you to forgive yourself. It helps you just to let things go. It helps you to detach from the outcomes. Because when you can be around people that can honestly tell you it's okay to fail, like, it takes a lot. Like, for some people, that takes a lot. You said, and you do, thank you for that. Oh, I appreciate you saying that. Yeah, because I pretty much had to go through everything that I went through alone. I had absolutely nobody that I could rely on. Nobody that gave me real encouragement. You know, I had certain people that supported me at times and gave me encouragement at times, but a lot of that was very conditional. So I had one friend who was a pastor, and I know that she meant well, but like trying to deter me from getting my birth chart explained to me, deterring me from getting readings and referring to scriptures in the Bible that talked about it being witchcraft and all this other shit. I was just like, if I had listened to that person, I would not be sitting here today, because I would be just trying to fit in at the church, knowing, you know, maybe knowing how powerful I am, but so brainwashed by the world that I'm trying to fit into the church and I can't express my gifts the way I want to, because somebody at the church would see me online pulling cards and tell pastor. So higher soul spirit, what else does the collective need to know? So let me know if this woman fits the description of anyone's loved one. She's like slim, brown skin, and I feel like she's got like nails and jewelry and like a lot of gold chains and smoking a cigarette. And she has like really pretty eye makeup. It seems like she may have been younger when she passed. I feel like what this woman is saying is that, you know, like for mothers who may have been having a hard time today, it's not about being loved. It's not about being liked. So I feel like she's saying that, you know, it's more important to impart wisdom and show genuine love, which also, like, love is not nammy-pammy and non-confrontational and all of that. Like, love actually can whoop your ass sometimes. And so if any so spirit, what else do you need to tell a collective? So I think spirit is talking about someone who's very good at telepathy. So like if you're like trying to test my telepathy skills, I can hear you. It's giving the energy of like testing 1, 2. Testing 1, 2, 3. But I would encourage everyone not to be afraid of your gifts, because this world is rapidly changing and all things spiritual are about to dominate our world again. And like all things spiritual meaning non-traditional religion. Basically, like worshiping the planet, worshiping the sun. And worshiping, so Spirit is talking about worshiping something or worshiping somebody just means that you take care of it. So it's like, because I love you, I'm going to care for your heart. Because I love you, I'm going to care for your emotional and mental well-being. And that's what true worship is. So like with regard to Mother Nature, worship is picking your shit up off the ground. Not eating food and then putting the fast food tray on the ground and leaving it there. It means like using electric vehicles or recycling and stuff like that. It's honoring the wisdom of the planet. And that's basically what a man does in order to worship a woman, is being a protector of her in all aspects. Mentally, emotionally, physically, sexually, financially, all of that. Oh my God. Excuse me. Higher soul spirit. Hi, Willie. What does the collective need to know? And of course, feminines should do the same for masculines. It's not one-sided, because that's not balanced. Everything in the universe, in the cosmos, in the spirit realm, everything has to be balanced. And so they're talking about, like, that's why anything in extreme excess can become a problem. Like water is supposed to be really good for us. I say supposed to be because of contamination. But, there's such a thing as drinking too much water. So I definitely feel like there was someone. So like the Emperor is in reverse, but I feel like it's gender neutral because we have the Emperor in reverse and the Queen of Swords in reverse. And so I feel like someone in like some kind of authority figure, whether that be like a parent or someone at work or just someone in like a leadership role, um, authority figure over you, was misusing their power by like trying to discourage you from your path, from believing in yourself, discourage you from believing that you are worthy of happiness. And so, like, swords represent air and they represent thoughts. And so, um, like, what Spirit is saying is that you can, like, take the swords that are sent your way, grab the sword before it strikes you, and capture the sword, and take the sword and alchemize that energy. Because I really feel like you have like removed a bunch of swords from people who were supposed to be in leadership positions. So you basically stripped them of their leadership. So you stripped some emperors of their leadership positions, and you also stripped some feminists of their leadership positions. And Spirit is like, I have the Three of Pentacles out here. Spirit is like, y'all were supposed to work together, not against each other. But these people chose to work against you, and so you stripped them of their authority. And so when you strip people of their authority, like taking their sword from them, you basically take that sword for yourself. So whatever wisdom, knowledge, gifts, powers that they possessed to be in that leadership position, once all those powers are stripped, there's a vessel left. I don't wish that on nobody. Because that's what happens like when people decide to do things against other people and they feel like the divine has like stripped them of their power or you know, taken them down a couple of notches or whatever. Then that's when people start, you know, like I said earlier, that's when people start taking matters into their own hands. And so also too, like stripping people of their authority over you is setting boundaries with people. And with that, when you set healthy boundaries with people, you start to manage your energy better. You start to be able to balance your energies in a new way. Cause like I feel like the swords are like the thought projections from people. So it doesn't have to even like be blatant to you. It could just be something that they're thinking about you. And so those swords have been projected towards you. And you've literally like grabbed a sword and taken it for yourself and transmuted the hell out of that thought to something that was for your highest and best good. And we have the King of Wands, so you definitely took your power back. You took control of the situation. Because when other people feel like they're in control of a situation, it becomes like, oh, well, I got this. You know, it's like the bully scenario where you have someone that feels empowered when they're bullying other people and making people cry and, you know, all of that. But then as soon as the person starts standing up for themselves, or if they end up getting into a fight and that person ends up mollywhopping the person, yeah. So I feel like if you've been underestimated quite a bit, but you still like kept pushing forward, kept believing in yourself. Because people like the underdogs, the people who are underestimated, the people who are downplayed, it takes a lot of, I'm hearing the word fortitude, but it takes a lot of fortitude to be able to maintain who you are in that position. Like, and that's why the people I talk to have been given lives with the most challenges, because all you're doing each time that you successfully navigate a challenge is you're stepping into your King of Wands energy. You're leveling up each time. And so, with each experience that you've been through, it makes you a better leader. It puts you in the energy of not wanting to abuse your power. It puts you in the energy of not wanting to take other people for granted. It takes you out of the energy of like taking from other people for your own personal come up. It takes you out of the energy of oppressing people. Because what happens is when people have a lot of money, they have the ability to control the narrative to oppress people. And so Spirit is like, we have to have a group of energies in human vessels who are going to be really stand up people and not play around with humanity. And it takes a lot of courage to get through all of the things that you've had to navigate. And you know, also too, it comes with a lot of confusion because I've talked about before how I've gone through time periods where I was like, what did I do to deserve this? Like, I don't know. Like, I know that I haven't done anything to deserve this in this lifetime. So I was like, what the hell did I do in a past lifetime that I'm having to work out this karma? And it wasn't even my karma. So a lot of times, the toughest assignments are given to the strongest spiritual warriors because they can go through some really tough shit and drag themselves back out. And when they drag themselves back out and when they heal, they are healing humanity in the process. And so that's why I'm saying it's very important to treat everyone you meet with a high level of dignity and respect and honor, because you never know when you're going to encounter one of these very high ranking spiritual beings. And so what energies do is your energy is remembering things that you experienced in a past life, and it's also remembering things that you have experienced in this lifetime. And so, like, some people talk about how we live multiple lifetimes in this one lifetime. And I mean, that resonates for me because my awakening was so life changing that I definitely feel like I left a whole other life behind me. And so we're, you know, our energy holds the information in our Akashic records. So that's why when somebody taps into your energy, they can read your Akashic records if they know what they're doing. And so our energy carries our Akashic record. And so that's why, like, the art of scrying, where my energy projects onto a piece of paper and the scryer is like gifted to see the images that come out on the paper and just kind of traces it or whatever. Your energy, like my energy, projected so much information, and it was so spiritually significant that the lady was like, this should be in a museum. So that's how I know that I am very, very ancient. I know that I am extremely powerful in the spirit realm. I mean, I'm extremely powerful in this realm as well, but it doesn't look like it because I'm, you know, in a meat suit. But that's another reason why you never judge a book by its cover. Because there were times in my life when, like, like, I don't even want to talk about it. That shit, like, I really just want to forget. But there were extremely, extremely low times in my life. I mean, thank God I've never been like truly homeless. But, you know, like, I've been in a position where I was like virtually homeless because I was in between apartments. Like, I was waiting for an apartment to be ready. And like, I had to ask somebody to stay with them. It was just like a mess. And so we just go through a lot of different things in life, and when you struggle, whether it be mentally, financially, emotionally. I would say especially financially, like that's the biggest cover of them all. Because in this capitalistic world, if you look like you don't have money, and if you really don't have money and you're struggling, like people don't look at those people as powerful beings. They look at people who are, of the rich and famous, have, the most motion. Though they look at all of those people as being like more powerful and significant. But like one thing that I had to experience from a human perspective is like all of the pitfalls of being um of low economic status. And so when I was born into a family where my grandfather was like the third African American federal judge appointed. And so, like judges back then didn't make a whole lot of money, but it was a situation where, my family could live comfortably, but it was very political. Like like my grandfather wasn't like that with me, but with his children, like it was very strict. They had to behave a certain way. There was just a lot of pressure to be a certain way. And I'm not really sure where spirit is going with this. Where are we going with this? I feel like spirit is still talking about like the price that people have to pay to have like certain statuses in life, and have like a certain social status. But like even though, so my grandparents didn't do bad financially, but even with that being said, like, so it really didn't matter how much money he made because of his social status. And so I feel like that's what they're talking about. It's like your rank sometimes will supersede like the comparisons of value when it comes to like finances. Again, where is y'all going with this? Yeah, I might leave that alone. But I just think that ultimately, I'm getting so much information. Okay, maybe I should not have opened the floodgates, because I'm asking for everybody to come forward. Um, Sorry, I've got a little distracted because I'm getting so much information. But at any rate, people place high value on people's social and socioeconomic status. And like I said, I'm a very powerful spiritual being, and I've been out here damn near destitute. And you would never know it. But the question is, would you treat me any differently? Like, you know, and that's what I'm saying. Like, if you knew, like, if you saw me impoverished, but you knew that I was this royal, high-ranking spiritual being, would you still treat me like any average homeless person? I was really trying to stop blocking people. But when people come in here and just ask a question and nothing on the screen says anything about free questions, I be wanting to fly the fuck away. Like, on some real shit, I be wanting to just fly away. And then your damn question wasn't even grammatically correct. Like, that shit pissed me off too. I possibly should have stayed off live today, because the energy is off. But I feel like Spirit is saying that your energy may be off because people are sending a lot of spell work your way. And, you know, I use the word spell work lightly because it's really all energy. So, like, when people are talking about you, maybe you're in a group chat that not you're in a group chat, but other people are in a group chat talking about you. When, you know, they are just hating on you, that's when you really have to tune into your energy. And I think it just clicked for me that my energy is being heavily attacked right now. And that's why, like, it seems like things are moving in slow motion. Because people don't want me or you to walk in our power. People don't want us to know what our mission and purpose is. People don't want us to be authentic. People don't want us to be pure-hearted individuals genuinely. Because when they don't embody those things and they see someone that they want, but that person doesn't want them because they don't embody those things, they get mad. Big mad. But that's why I'm saying, like, if people spend decades of their life just trying to chase, take what someone else has, try to, like, do a bunch of get rich quick schemes, whatever that looks like for them. If they had invested that same energy into decades of going within, working on themselves, doing the healing work, they would be in a position to genuinely be in the running for people who have done the work. So it's like, if you want to join with someone who has done the work, you need to do the work. Like, if you actually want it to be a long-term, happy, harmonious relationship, and that has, sustainability and has been built up on a firm foundation, you have to do the work. Because if you don't do the work and you end up trying to be with someone who is vibrating on like 10 frequencies above you, that person, you're going to get swallowed up, because that person is going to get bored, and then they're going to go out and start seeking other stuff. It's like, have some substance. And having to go through a lot of shit in your life is how you cultivate substance. It's how you step into your authenticity. Because the same people who are on, like, they want a transactional relationship, they're the same people that just want their life to look a certain way. So to them, it really doesn't matter what it looks like behind closed doors. They just want their life to look a certain way to the public. That's wild. So I cannot wrap my mind around the concept of somebody being willing to live a miserable life with someone that they don't even like or love or are sexually attracted to. Like, so y'all just existing together, and you cool with just having that image. Because this could be like maybe two good looking people, and like he's the person that, maybe let's just say the husband is a successful one, or I guess makes the most money, and maybe he gets invited to award shows and Met galas and fashion weeks and all this stuff, and a lot of pictures are taken, and this person is arm candy. So he'll take her out, for like his public image. But behind closed doors, homegirl, trying to drink stuff, like, I don't know what I can say on TikTok. But, using substances or whatever to cope with life. And so people can have really amazing looking lives online, but it really be so miserable. And I'd rather be single than to deal with that shit. I'm not doing it. I'll just stay single. It is never that serious. my gosh. Alright, so Spirit, what else is the collective need to know? So, Spirit is talking about putting an ending to something. I definitely feel like Spirit is talking about putting an ending to work, ending to emotional pain, and ending to poverty. Because, I mean, I talked about the other day how most people are like one paycheck away from poverty. And so working a job is basically poverty. You know, with some exceptions, of course. But, Spirit's like, we're bringing an end to you having to work a traditional job. We're bringing an end to emotional mental pain. We're bringing an end to financial poverty. And we're bringing an end to all of these people who have tried to come against you. And we're not, encouraging violence or anything like that. Hey, Tamika. Oh, I don't know who that is. Is that Ender? So yeah, Spirit is putting an end to all of that. Because what I'm hearing is that someone in an effort to stop you from like basically getting your abundance, and that could be abundance in any shape, form, or fashion. So it could be mentally, emotionally, financially, physically, love, whatever, career wise, gifting. People, like I was saying, people have been more obsessed with you and focused on you and focused on trying to come against you, tried to come against your work, tried to come against your emotional well-being, tried to come against your finances. And like when I say come against your work, like if you're a spiritualist and you have very powerful spiritual gifts, they may try to come against that. Some people may try to come against your work, like um people you work with trying to come against you. I feel like Spirit is saying you have suffered a tremendous amount of emotional pain around relationships. And so I also feel like this person who maybe you used to deal with that is like in the medical field or could be working on a doctorate or has a doctorate, you know, like not in the medical field, but has a PhD. They or someone who is like in the healing industry. Um, that person may be trying to circle back by sending you a message. And now they want a relationship, but it's too late. I feel like it's too late. Yeah, I feel like for the context of this reading, this is like Spirit already told you what was going on. So it's too late to come back. Like it's not gonna work. Spirit is like your pathway to success is clear. I feel like a lot of you are definitely going through like a death and rebirth. I think that some people are creating a false narrative about you that you're mentally and emotionally unstable. And that's because you went through a death and a rebirth. So to me, these two cards look like the death and rebirth. And so when you went through your awakening, people were trying to say that you were mentally, emotionally unstable. Yeah, trying to say that you might need to be hospitalized. Okay, I'm glad you came back. No problem. Girl, I will sit here and talk to myself. I promise you. But I appreciate you coming back. Are you on the East Coast? Definitely feel like there's been some death magic done, like trying to affect your health as well. And I'm hearing trying to enlist the assistance of ascended masters. Could you just imagine trying to come against an ascended master by you trying to ask so let's just say someone in a human vessel is an ascended master, and someone else is, like, let's say the ascended master is Jesus, and they come against this person who they don't know is an ascended master in a meat suit. They come against this person and they try to enlist the energy of Jesus to attack this person. So it's given the energy of like super Christian people, very strict Christians who are like trying to come against a spiritualist in the name of Jesus. Bruh. And so Spirit is basically saying people will try to attack you, thinking that they're doing something good for you and other people, because like very radical religious people, I mean, that's how we got the situation with the I saw you say you're in Colorado. Okay. That's how we got the that lady who unalived her kids. Like I think she actually might have been in Colorado when it happened with the kids. But she and her husband, who were very radical, like Church of Latter-day Saints, they decided that the children were demonic and needed to be unalived. And so I feel like there's somebody in your energy that has been trying to unalive you spiritually in the name of Jesus. And let me tell you something. Jesus is not participating. Yeah. Spirit said, move it right on along. You said, oh no, not me. Yeah, I hope it's not you. But people will really do that. Like they'll pray about something, and then in the process of their prayer, they'll like flip it and, you know, like wish something ill against somebody. I don't know. It's weird energy. It's very weird energy. We got Love Spell that came out. You said, I'm my own worst enemy. Why did you say that? Oh, God. Yeah, somebody is willing to travel. Like, so like there could be somebody who lives at a distance, but they're like trying to travel closer to someone to do a love spell on them. Like that's so stupid. Why would you have to get closer to the person to do the love spell? Like I think in this person's head they feel like that is like, if you understood spell work, you would understand energy, and you would understand that your human vessel doesn't have to be anywhere in proximity to someone to affect energy. But anyway, it's like this person feels like if they're closer to their target with the spell work, then it will take effect. Because I feel like they've been talking about how They've been doing spell work, but it hasn't been working. And then we have karmic flipped up. Is it? Hold on now. Oh, there might be a karmic masculine trying to come against a feminine. Wow. So the karmic masculine is trying to infiltrate this feminine's energy to get her to marry him. And Spirit said, absolutely not. Keep on damn dreaming. Keep hope alive. Yeah, this person, the person, this karmic, looked at you as like, look at you like, so there's a pinnacle in the sky and there's a hand reaching for the pinnacle. And I feel like Spirit is talking about how they looked at you as like money. So like when they would look at you, instead of seeing you as the sun, they would look at you as money. As some type of come up. Like if they could grab a hold to you, then that would drag them it would somehow drag them upward. You said, oh, okay. And then you said, that sounds like the devil closer to the person they're doing spell work on as well. Mm-hmm. That part, wishful thinking, that's wild behavior, yeah. But I mean, people really do some interesting things. And you know, a lot of times hindsight is 2020. So it's like they should have caught you when you was kind of naive and not really picking up on the red flags. Like 2 circle backs ago, when this person was like not really tracking your bullshit, you should have tried to go for the gusto back then, because now trying to go for the gusto, it's not gonna work. Trying to flip the script is not gonna work. Yeah, this person is like praying that you'll come back to them. You said, I need to take my butt to bed. Good night. Happy Mother's Day. Thank you. Man, I'd rather be in my car and be broke for life than to use anyone. Yeah, that's crazy. But I feel like, you know, like if you're a spiritualist, And you don't have to be, but like if you're just intuitive and you may be saying certain things, so either you could be doing readings and saying certain things, or you could be just having conversations where these people are like privy to the conversation, and they getting concerned because they like, how does this person know? Like, how do they know that? It's because collective is tapped in. Tap, tap, tap in. And that's why there's so much opposition. And you chilling, unbothered like a motherfucker. Didn't I say unbothered like a motherfucker? Protected. Protected from all the thieves. The protection and thief came out together. Someone really thinks they're gonna be able to steal what is yours, and it's a no-go. You said, I hope ain't no one coming for me. Yes, it probably is not for you because you had your day yesterday. It was all about you yesterday. Spirit made sure. So yeah, like the ancestors card came out right after thief and protection. So like your ancestors are standing in between. They're standing in the gap for you. And that, ancestors translates to just spirit team in general. You said, I sure did. Spirit was on point with us. Yeah, that was fun. Yeah, they wanted complete destruction upon your life. And do you know how fucking savage that is? Like, it's one thing to be like, may she not get my man that I want, but to say, may this person not get my man and let there be complete destruction in their life. You ain't have to do both. That ain't right. You ain't have to do both. That's just fucking overdoing it. But Spirit said, even in the midst of chaos, you maintained your peace, you maintained your alignment with the divine, you maintained balance. And Spirit's like, it was a long road that's less traveled, a very isolating, lonely road. But Spirit knew that you would be able to heal yourself within your own energy. So it's given the energy of like you are a very powerful healer. And so your energy is so big and so powerful that you're able to sit in your own energy and heal yourself. And Spirit is saying that's why you like to spend a lot of time alone at home, because it like, not that your energy can be contained in any space, but it's just like, okay, like it's kind of like a caged off area within a bigger area. So it's not like complete elimination from the world, but just like partial isolation so that you can just sit in your own energy. Because when you're around other people and you're mixing and blending your energy with other people, that's how their thoughts and emotions and all of that gets transferred to your energy. I'm not saying that it can like penetrate your energy. Not saying it can penetrate your energy. Why do I keep saying it like that? Energy. Somebody doesn't want me to get this message, y'all. So, not saying it would penetrate your energy anyway, because, and I was just talking about being at home in solitude. Not that it would penetrate your energy at all. It's just that, like, when spirit has to bump up their protection around you, that's why I was talking about yesterday how it'll, like, when they have to increase the energy around me to protect me, it almost knocks me back, because it's like their energy is pushing against my energy, and because I'm in a vessel, it translates differently when the energy is increasing like that rapidly. And so yeah, spirit is like, being home by yourself is very healing for you, because again, you have a lot of healing energy and you're able to just sit in your energy and heal yourself. And so I feel like, when people miss you, when people, like, when you go no contact with someone and they try to circle back, it's more than about the smecks. It's really like they're craving your energy. And I feel like your energy is going to be increasing even faster because more of the veil has been removed. So, like, what Spirit is saying is that they were slowly removing the veil. So now there's only like a little piece of a veil left. Because, like, she has this little, like, line of veil that's going across her face. And so there's not much left. Hey, Asia. And this is kind of random, but I feel like there's somebody who may be like involved in a court case and someone's going to try to basically pay their way out of trouble. But Spirit's like, nah, it's not going to work like that. Because it's given the energy that this person or people is used to It's like they're used to getting their way because they have money. So they're used to being able to pay people off. And this could involve your family. I feel like there's a wife that has a side dude. Spirit, why are we getting into the messy energy? So I guess if you suspected your wife of cheating, this is your confirmation. She does have a side nigga. And one of those kids might not be yours. Oh Lord, that's real messy. Yeah, I think she's been trying to play some manipulative games, trying to confuse the situation because she knows that she been trifling as hell. And I feel like she was paying this person. So there's like documentation of her paying the side dude for his services. I didn't know that men got down like that. But I mean, it's not surprising. Yeah, but that shit is backfiring. Because when you habitually cheat, to me, that's abuse. Like after a time period, it just becomes abusive. Oh my God. I feel like Spirit said you can trust your intuition. I feel like Spirit is saying that there's a female who was willing to make a financial offer to a masculine to be with them. Man, please say it ain't so. It's giving the energy of like a female saying, I'll give you like $25,000 if you'll be my man. Oh my God. No. Sis, it's a no. Like, why would you do some shit like that? That's crazy work. So on top of like trying to come against the feminine that's in this scenario, so she's trying to come against the feminine to keep her from being with the masculine. And then at the same time, she's trying to give this person money so that she can win. Like, I just want you. That's all I want. And I'm willing to do whatever to get you. And I got this 25,000. Man, stop. And I feel like at this point, like initially, I think it's twofold, but I think initially it was all about getting the person, but now it's more of like competition and wanting to be the winner winner chicken dinner type energy, and just be like just to make sure that they don't miss out on the person. And it's also too because this person has really nice energy. It gives the energy of someone who is really a genuinely nice person, caring person. And so like it's very very attractive. The energy is very attractive is what I mean. And so people start doing crazy shit. But also too, with the whole like nice guy role, some people play the nice guy, but they really know what the fuck is going on. And so I feel like that this person is playing nice guy, playing naive, and not that, like I said, not that he's not a nice guy, but just playing naive so that people think that he doesn't know what's actually going on. Because that's what happens a lot of times is that women will try to go after someone who is considered the nice guy, or like maybe this person wasn't as popular in school, and so maybe they were kind of shunned by women even, or like just not made to feel attractive. Like it's giving real like the true underdog story. And so women can tell by how people move kind of what their history with women is like. And so, or they, at least that's what they think because that's what they're used to. But what Spirit is saying is that people don't realize that high ranking spiritual beings are shapeshifters. So they can come across as, timid, naive, don't know what the fuck they is going on. Hey, Booker. They can come across as not knowing what the fuck is going on, but they really know what the fuck is going on. Like super tapped in. Hey, I love when you say that. But thank you for the heart me. Are you almost done with work? So yeah. In 10 minutes. Okay. I'm happy for you. I know how that is. I be on the clock too, like, yeah, come on. But yeah, so this person definitely knows what's going on. It's definitely giving earth angel energy within like a rising star energy. So definitely So I definitely feel like both of these people were sent by the divine, but one is giving earth angel energy. And I feel like this energy is attached to so many other energies. So when I say attached to so many other energies, I mean like archangels. This person may have been an archangel in a past life, because like Archangel Metatron came out of a human being who transitioned into Metatron. Because I think Enoch is the one who transitioned into Metatron. Let me look that up. So, yes, according to Jewish mystical traditions, specifically in 3 Enoch, the Hebrew book of Enoch, and various Kabbalistic texts, the biblical figure Enoch is transformed into the archangel Metatron. This tradition posits that after Enoch walked with God and was taken to heaven alive, he was elevated to become the highest angel and a heavenly scribe. And so that's why I feel like Enoch and Metatron and like Tahuti are all the same energy. Because Tahuti was a scribe. Tahuti was a scribe. And I know that my spirit team is giving me this High Priestess card to give me some encouragement. Yeah, it says Metatron is God's right-hand angel. He is described as a mediator between God and humanity and a recorder of divine actions. And that's what Tahuti was described as well. And then we got the divinity card. So yeah, I know what I'm talking about. I'm clocking this shit. I know what the hell I'm talking about. And so I definitely feel like Spirit is saying that um the divine has incarnated to bring justice. And this is like a very important time in history because the divine just does not incarnate like that all the time. So this is very different. That's why I keep saying that there's prophecies being fulfilled, because we're talking about like some real shit that's happening right now. And who's this mature woman? So so Spirit is saying that, like, if you, because I was talking, like, anytime I talk about something, it's for a reason. So I was talking about having this friend who's a pastor, and I was talking about like how, you know, people within traditional religion, they may mean well and they're trying to help you save your soul or whatever, but they could really be impacting you getting on your path and getting towards your mission and purpose and all that and your gifts, by trying to like hold you to Christianity or whatever. And so I feel like Spirit is saying that this, like, if you had some Christian friends or just very religious people that don't believe in what you're doing, that they are definitely giving you the evil eye right now. And I really feel like it's because you've been proving them wrong and shit. Like, they really wanted to believe that all the rhetoric that they were spewing was actual factual, and they were speaking all kinds of crazy stuff over you, praying, trying to pray demons out of you in the name of Jesus. Like, oh my God, this is bananas. And Spirit said the whole time you just been sitting over here chilling, like, do 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 do. I don't know what's going on. That's wild. And so I definitely feel like because of the energy that you put yourself in, as far as like balancing and managing your energy, the divine is gifting you a divine life partner. And it's basically like winning the prize. We have divine masculine, but you know, it could be either or. Like, the divine is gifting you a masculine or a feminine, gender neutral. And I feel like this person has already planned to ice other women out. Like, it's not going down like that. And I said it's not going down like that, and then we got the ascending card. So, yeah, it's definitely up and it's stuck. I hate quoting shit like that, but that's what I was told to say. Yeah. up and it's stuck. Look, sorry. Sorry. Spirit said they thought wrong. So I'm hearing that when you're a star seed, you go through different kinds, a different kind of ascension from the average person, because I feel like what they're saying is to be a very powerful spiritual being in a vessel, you already have to be operating on a certain level to begin with. So with that being said, you come into this life, into the vessel, vibrating at a much higher frequency than most people. And so when you ascend and you are ascended, so like the average person will ascend to like level 5. You come in here on level 10. So anytime you ascend any higher, it's going to take other people longer to catch up. And they pretty much not going to catch up. They're going to be left behind. Sorry to that man. Sorry to that woman. And same thing for the feminine. So the masculine is going to be not entertaining other people. The feminine isn't either. I feel like the spirit is saying the masculine, actually both of y'all really, on some real shit, may have struggled with like, I guess having a lot of partners. I know that sounds terrible, but I don't want to say promiscuous, because I don't really think it was promiscuous. I think it was more like, okay, now I'm dealing with this person, and then I don't know what I'm trying to say. But it's like you were trying to make the best out of the situation. Hey. So it's like you had good intentions. You were trying to make the best out of the situation, but maybe that created a situation where you got more notches on your belt than you wanted to. So that's what I'm trying to say. But again, like having to go through that was having to work out, work stuff out from a past lifetime. So like if the masculine, let's just say in a past life, the masculine abused his power over women, his twin flame would then have to experience that karma. So the karma for that would be having to endure multiple relationships where the masculine was like abusing their power over women, so to speak. And I feel like this person, like both people carry a lot of ancient wisdom. Both people are held in very high honor in the spirit realm. And both very tapped in. And that's for a reason. So I'm hearing that the spirit realm is rejoicing about the union. I feel like they're talking about some kind of prophecy. So, hi Jay. Amanda, did you come back? I thought you was going to sleep. um I need to go to sleep. Wow, that's interesting. So that's why the chalice, okay. Okay. Let me look up something else. This is so wild. Honestly, like I'm being told to look this up by spirit, but like it wouldn't even make sense to anybody but me. I'm tripping. I'm tripping. Oh my God. Wow. Yikes. Okay, sorry about that. Yeah. So what they were having me look up is like some of the prophecies, and so I've been talking about the end times. I've been talking about Revelation. I've been talking about um and so just so it says Revelation portrays Christ removing the rebellious world systems to establish the kingdom of God. And that's what I was talking about yesterday. Yeah, like restoring humanity having like a mass awakening and restoring the planet to like its original, like its origins. And so the people who are going to be living in the kingdom of God, I'm talking slow because I'm trying to hear what they're saying. So people living in the kingdom of God are going to be they're going to be living like supernatural lives in front of the people that oppress them. Oh my God. That is the ultimate preparing a table in front of my enemies. And as soon as I said enemies, the Karmic Femme card came out. So there's definitely, I feel like there's a karmic feminine that's like being really pushy and aggressive. Like trying to control someone and is like crashing out. They are crashing out. Yeah, it's somebody who's like a Jezebel energy, just trying to use their body to get what they want. And I said she crashing out. Because when you can't control other people, like, yeah, people really be on one. And I feel like, you know, they better slow down because they going to end up getting blocked in some more shit. Like, I feel like this person may end up even having to take legal action, like a restraining order or some shit. Like, that's embarrassing as hell. Because, you know, like, there's some people that's willing to do anything to get somebody they really want, especially if they feel like money's attached to the person. I feel like this person is putting in work. Do you hear me? I have never been that type of female. Yeah, as soon as I said a person's putting in work, we had divination. I've just never been the type of female that I was like, I'm gonna go to the ends of the earth to get that man. Like, if he don't want me, he don't want me. Like, I'm not doing all of that. Why would I want to like manipulate and force somebody to want me? That's crazy. The damn voodoo card just came out. Trying to do spell work and shit on a divine feminine. And she's so protected, she's unbothered. Sitting in all of her self-love and faith and knowing that her future is secured. I said her future is secured. Secured. Yeah. And the last card out was Flying Monkey. So definitely have some crazy ass people out here. But the good news is that you and your divine life partner don't have anything to worry about. You are fully divinely guided and protected. The union is protected. The abundance is protected. Because, like, spirit already knows what's going to happen before you incarnate. So they like, all right, well, with all this abundance attached to this relationship, with all this abundance and happiness attached to this relationship, people are going to be working against this union because they know that, like, these people are going to be world renowned, making history, rewriting history books, like telling the truth about history. And like I said, when you come back to fulfill a prophecy, there is a lot of abundance attached to those unions, because you have to be in a position to be able to help humanity. And so they have to have very trusted people who are fully in their leadership to be in a position to, like, take over, you know, a leadership role. And with the way that the world is set up, these people would have to have a lot of money, because, you know, we look at like black power movements in the black community all the time, and those situations, it's a nice concept, but if you don't have any money, all you doing is like gathering at the local boys club and having a meeting and shooting shit and talking about stuff, but you don't have any financial means to mobilize your ideas. And so spirit is like, in order for you to be able to mobilize your ideas and to help work to, like, restore humanity, you have to have some funds. And so when people can feel that two people are, by the virtue of two people being together, that they're going to have access to, like, amounts of money that can control the world, people be completely losing their shit. So on that note, I'm gonna check on out. All right, y'all. Thank you for the likes, the gifts. Appreciate you. Good night.